few days ago I made a video about how my one-person creator business had generated 20K in 1 month. And ironically, that video has now probably going to make a lot more than that. But the question that you might be wondering is, how on earth does this guy sitting in a field with no edits, with these really simple videos, barely brushes his hair, make that kind of money? So in this video, I'm going to share with you why that video is so effective, what's actually happening in there, because it's probably not what you think it is. And I'm going to share with you how you can do this for yourself as well, so that you can attract your audience, so that you can provide help to people. And a byproduct of that is you just make more money. So I'm going to introduce you to a concept called story selling. That's not storytelling. When people see this, they often think I've made a typo. It's story selling. And this is really important because in order for you to make money, somebody has to buy something, right? Now there's different levels to this, but the first way that somebody buys something is they buy you. And they buy you first with their time. So unless you're a client of mine, if you are, hello, you are currently buying me with your time, which means the fact you're here watching this video, you're giving me time, and I appreciate that. Thank you. So that's the first key to generating more money as a creator, is you need to get people to buy you. So how do you get people to buy you? A mistake that a lot of people make is they will start off a video, or they'll quickly get into pitching something to the viewer. So it might be saying, oh, please subscribe. It might be saying, oh, do this. Or it might be saying, oh, join this community I have, or whatever. And that's premature. So I'm going to share with you how to do it a more effective way, which is exactly what is happening in that video, which has been crazy. It's really just blown up my business in the last couple of days. So story selling is all about tapping into your story in order to take a viewer on a journey. And this journey is deep, it's emotional. And that's really powerful because we're motivated to do things because of emotion. So in that video, what I did was first I kind of set the scene. I said, hey, this is what my creator business did a couple of months ago, and I'm going to tell you how that happened. So anyone who's interested in achieving that goal for themselves, making more money as a creator, they're probably going to stick around because they want to know what they're missing. What's the secret sauce? What's the magic pill? But before I get to that, I take them on a journey. And that looks like revisiting my past. Where did I begin as a creator? And so I started there. It was tough. It was difficult. I wasn't able to make any money. I didn't know what I was doing. I tried this, I tried that. And then eventually, we get to a little bit of hope. Okay, I'm starting to make a bit of money. I'm working with these big brands. I'm working with clients. And things are looking better. But we're still not there. So we've got a little bit of hope brimming. But a lot of people might be in that space themselves. So we need to go further. So after that initial period of, figuring out a few things, we go even further into the story. And this is all just honest, me reflecting on my journey. But what I'm doing as I reflect on my journey is I'm sprinkling in my wins. I'm sprinkling in reasons for people to see me as a credible person, as a trustworthy individual. And if you look back in your life, you'll find plenty of little wins that you had along the way, and those are the things that you need to leverage. So, I've worked with a lot of big creators, I've worked with a lot of huge companies, and that just builds credibility. So don't neglect your wins, and also don't neglect your losses, because I screwed up so many times. I tried so many things and failed. And that's important to include because you need to foster relatability with people, because people buy from people. So if you can be someone that your audience identifies with, you instill a sense of hope, you instill a sense of belief that this too is possible for you. I'm not the only creator that's, struggled to monetize. I'm not the only person who's struggled to get on camera and share my ideas. I'm not the only person that's struggled with self-belief. There's not that many problems in this world that us humans face, which is great for you because it means you can just share your problems and know that the way that you solve them will be helpful to someone else, because there's plenty of other people with the exact same problem that you had once upon a time. And that builds trust, that builds credibility, and it builds a relationship. So you're almost painting a vision of what this could look like for your viewers, who could then turn into clients. So how do they turn into clients? Well, if you've effectively told your story and sold your journey and your mechanism, then it's only logical that the right person who is waiting to invest in themselves and it is wanting to invest in you specifically is going to pull the trigger. And of course, you still need to learn the skill of content creation, of creating an offer, of figuring out, how you package that offer, and then your sales process. Those are things that you can't just neglect. But the story selling makes the whole back end 10 times easier, because by the time someone is inquiring with you to work with you, they already know half your story, or at least the bits that you want them to know. Of course, there's things I don't tell you about because it's just not relevant. So it's about identifying the value and then sharing that in an exciting way that brings people on a journey. Because if you just say, oh, hey, I did this, and then you tell them exactly how you did it with like these boring actionable steps, you haven't built any relatability. There's no trust. People can't see themselves in you. And a result of that, by the way, is that they won't believe in themselves. So by being honest with yourself and being honest with your audience, you allow people to step into their own power. And a portion of those people might want to work with you and pay you with their money. And the reason that people pay you with your money is because paying with your time, as in if you're a viewer watching a video, you get to watch the video, but you don't get specific implementation, you don't get accountability, you don't get someone looking at your unique situation. And so the next step is to pay with money. And if they bought you with their time, let's say they watched a few videos, then they're going to pay you with money because they have a problem and it's important to them that they solve it because they want something different in their life. And that's a huge act of service on your part. And it only makes sense that you be equally compensated for the value that you provide to somebody. So that's the art of selling. I almost made a typo with my speech. So sell your story and the rest will follow. And invest in learning about this stuff. Invest in practicing. Invest your time into practicing and figure out the things that you don't know. Like if you don't know how to make an offer, go figure out how to make an offer. If you don't know how to build out a sales process, go figure out how to build out a sales process. You have to honor each part of these elements of a business in order to actually make those transformations happen for people. And as I say, the byproduct is money. You don't do this to make money. You do this and you make money. It just happens when you're of service, when you're honest, when you're in integrity, and you're honest about your value and what you actually have to provide to people. So if any of what I'm talking about here resonates with you, then if you want to embark on a journey with me to actually learn the skill of story selling, to learn the skill of content creation, how to build your offer, how to market your offer in a fun, aligned way, how to build out your sales process, I'm launching a creator sprint on the 15th of May, and it's a small group. You get direct access to me. And it's just a fast way to learn, get all of my knowledge, all of my resources, and I'll help you directly as well. The spots are very limited now because since that last video did so well, it just filled up a lot quicker than I thought. But you still have time to book a call, so just click the link below and you can apply there, and if it's a good fit, then I look forward to having a chat with you. And if not, I'll just see you in the next video.